Archangel Michael says, it's a serious warning from God. Someone in heaven has cried a lot after knowing about your deed. God is commanding you to watch it immediately. This message isn't from earth, Archangel Michael explains. It's coming to you from a place where light has no shadow and memories last forever. Someone who once walked by your side, now watching from heaven, has wept with deep sorrow because they saw what's happening around your destiny. They know something you don't yet, and the pain of it has even broken eternity's sacred silence. They've seen your name written in a moment of danger, a line that should never have been there. This isn't just any message, it's a divine intervention, full of tears and urgency. Heaven is trying to stop something that humans have already started. Someone in heaven, who once cared for you deeply, is now standing helplessly before God, pleading for you to see this before it's too late. The crying wasn't about being helpless, it was from heartbreak, because you're still walking blindly towards something dangerous. What they were shown wasn't just about your death, but about a part of your destiny being stolen right from under you. This decision was made quietly while you were asleep. A document, a call, a transfer, something moved without your permission, and your name was on it. This person in heaven is watching the consequences grow and spread like a shadow following you, just waiting for the right moment to strike. A conversation took place in the spiritual realm. One angel whispered, "If they don't wake up, the loss will be far too much." But it was the one who loves you in heaven who broke down, not from weakness, but because they'd already seen the outcome. It's not your time to break. This isn't just a message, it's a heavenly interruption. Someone has wished for your light to be put out, and a lie is being used to make it happen. The person who once hugged you in life is now holding your name in prayer on the other side. The pain they carry is loud in heaven. They've begged for more time and for this message to reach you before the final moment. Their tears have been gathered like rain in a divine bowl, offered to God to stop the destruction planned for your path. This plot wasn't an accident, it was organized. Someone near you has spoken against you and connected your name with something you never did. This injustice is echoing in the afterlife, and the one who crossed over with love, for you can't stay silent anymore. They know what's coming if you remain unaware. There's a scheme ready to hit your name, your reputation, or your soul. You were never meant to walk into this moment unknowingly, but the enemy has worked hard to keep you distracted. People are whispering about you in places your name shouldn't be. They've mentioned your decisions, your money, your health, and even where you live. They want to control your future with lies as the foundation, and that's something heaven won't allow. That loved one in heaven isn't just watching, they're getting involved. They sent signs. You've been waking up with a sudden feeling of dread. You've seen certain numbers repeatedly. You felt someone close by even when no one was in the room. These weren't coincidences, they were signals. They begged God for another chance to speak to you, not in dreams, but right now, through this message. You're the last to find out what's about to be taken from you, but now you have a chance to change it. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings, it is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Heaven has opened the record. What was hidden is now being revealed. The secret isn't about your death, but about the death of a moment that would have changed your life if things had gone their way. You're being watched not only by angels, but by people who want to see you fail. This is why someone in heaven cried so deeply. They trusted the wrong people with your presence. They watched you celebrate with those who secretly cursed you behind smiles. Archangel Michael says, "Your defense is already forming around you, but you must not delay." Don't ignore the strange messages, the sudden changes, the lost items, the forgotten appointments. These aren't simple accidents. They are divine alarms trying to reroute your fate. Your loved one is pushing the limits of their permission, speaking words they were told not to, because heaven's laws protect time's mystery. But today, they got an exception because of what they saw. You're supposed to inherit something soon, and someone you don't expect is trying to stop it. The person who cried in heaven used their tears as a plea to God to break the silence around your future. There's something buried in your past that someone is using against your tomorrow. The plan is to twist your own truth to create a lie about you. But they didn't expect a heavenly eye to witness their actions. Now the pressure has started. Someone near you is acting strangely, trying to get information. You felt them taking your energy when they entered the room. That's not just suspicion, it's confirmation. The clock isn't just ticking in your world. The heavenly realm is trying to slow down what was meant to harm you. The exact moment they chose to attack your destiny has already been written, but it can be erased with action. You're not alone. Someone who once loved you deeply is still loving you fiercely, and that love has become a bridge between worlds to bring you this warning. You were meant to succeed at something that hasn't arrived yet. The delay is artificial. Someone tied your success to failure using spiritual confusion, but the crying in heaven has reversed what they tried to finish. Archangel Michael says, "What you do in the next few days will change everything." This message has reached you for a reason. The delay in your spirit is about to be lifted. Don't dismiss this, don't laugh it off. This isn't about fear, it's about prevention. The enemy wants you to ignore what your soul is already sensing. But your protector in heaven has given up their peace to get this to you. A voice has risen in heaven, screaming your name in prayer. They're asking God not to let your silence become your downfall. You must act, not hesitate. You might feel tired recently, your knees might feel heavy. That's the weight of heavenly energy surrounding you, stopping you from crossing a line you didn't even know was there. You've been protected without realizing it. They wanted to strip you of peace, wealth, clarity, and favor. But your name was placed in an angel's hands at the request of someone who once held yours, and now that name is guarded like a sacred scroll. You might feel lonely lately, like people aren't seeing you, but heaven has dimmed the lights around you for a reason to hide you while they fix your path. This warning isn't just about what's coming, but about what was stopped. The divine records show that someone took a piece of information about you and made it bigger. They did it not once, but 3 times. And the reason it didn't destroy you is because the one who cried for you in heaven gave their tears to God like a weapon. Every tear they cried became a shield. You've been walking under that shield unknowingly, and now you're being told what has been protected all this time. Be still, but be alert. This season, you will uncover a truth that someone tried hard to bury, and when you do, you'll remember this message. You weren't supposed to hear this, but the cry was too loud to ignore. Someone you love is working harder for your peace than you can imagine, even from beyond this world. Archangel Michael says, the person who's crying for you in heaven used to protect you when they were alive, and now they are doing it again through divine permission. Before you stop reading this, take note there will be an odd call, a missed message, or a delayed letter within 9 days. It will be the sign that what you read here isn't just real, it's already active. Heaven doesn't interfere unless something serious is happening. The person who cried for you didn't do it for old memories, they did it to rescue you. The danger is real, but so is your defense. Archangel Michael says, hold on to this moment like a shield. This message isn't just made of words, it's made from a heavenly cry, wrapped in God's urgency. You might have noticed a particular date repeating in your life recently, a time, a number, a song, or a dream that keeps coming back. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool, everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now, stay right here with me because as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. That's not just nostalgia. It's a coded reminder sent from heaven to warn you that the event connected to that symbol is the moment they're trying to protect you from. The soul crying for you in heaven knows this day well. They have been shown the chain of events that could pull your life in a direction you never chose. What they saw made them weep before God, not for themselves, but for you. They whispered your name before the throne of light, saying, please give them a chance to know. Don't let them walk into it without knowing what was prepared against them. And because of that cry, this message has reached you. You are not forgotten, you are being saved. You are being watched, not because you are weak, but because your destiny holds so much importance that both good and evil are trying to influence it. Someone in your daily life is being used without even realizing it. A phone call here, a visit there. These are small moments, but with big consequences. This person was once neutral, but now they're unknowingly carrying a dark intention that isn't even theirs. The person in heaven knew this individual when they were alive. They saw a tiny seed of envy a long time ago, and now that seed has grown, but you were too kind, too trusting. You didn't see what was being fed behind your back. They did. And that's why the tears fell in heaven. The trap is emotional, not just physical. The plan is to drain your energy through people you love, through duties that aren't yours, and through guilt that you shouldn't carry. This person in heaven is trying to cut that cord for you. They're fighting through spiritual resistance to bring this to your attention. That's why you felt emotional without knowing why. That's why your sleep has been broken. That's why things are moving and breaking around you for no reason. It's not chaos, it's the shift. Heaven has decided that you must be told now. The grace period of protection is getting longer, but only if you choose to see this message for what it is, a divine intersection. You were about to walk into something blindly. Now your eyes are being opened. Your past decisions have been misunderstood. A voice from your history is being twisted in your present by someone who holds resentment. But the one who loves you from heaven has seen the manipulation and refused to stay silent anymore. This warning isn't a curse, it's a covering. A storm was scheduled for you, but heaven changed its course. Still, you must not go back to the people who caused the trouble in the first place. You'll hear something in the next few days. It might sound like gossip, a comment, or even a joke, but your spirit will know it's confirmation. That will be your sign that what's being shared here matches what heaven is showing you privately. And when that happens, don't wait. You must start clearing the space around you. The wrong energy is lingering through objects, messages, and commitments that are no longer safe. Heaven is asking you to let go. You're entering a time where truth will feel heavy, but necessary. Some people you've trusted will show you a different side of themselves. You'll begin to understand why heaven cried, not just because of the danger, but because of who was involved. Your heart is sacred. Your presence carries purpose. The more you shine, the more your silence bothers those who envy your grace. That's why this moment matters. It's your chance to boldly walk out of what was meant to trap you. They tried to paint you as unstable, too emotional, inconsistent. But the person who cried for you in heaven knows the truth. You've just been carrying more than anyone else ever dared to understand. That strength is being recognized now. Archangel Michael says, you are being lifted up even if you don't feel it. The crying in heaven was the sound of spiritual doors being reopened. You're now being guided back to what was originally yours before people tried to rewrite your story. Expect divine rearrangement. Plans may fall apart and people may disappear suddenly. It will feel like loss, but it's not, it's cleansing. What was hidden behind masks is now being brought into the light. The person who once hugged you, laughed with you, and called your name lovingly, they have returned through this message, not in body, but in power. Their soul is aligned with your awakening. Now they will be with you in this next chapter, silently guiding from above. As you read this, they are standing just behind the veil, watching, whispering, praying. You might even feel their presence right now, a sudden warmth, a particular scent, a soft chill. That is them. They didn't cry for themselves. They cried for the future they don't want you to lose. Their cry was a call to God for divine mercy over your life, and God answered. If your heart is beating faster now, if tears have come without warning, if your breath has caught, this isn't fear, it's alignment. Heaven is realigning your soul to what belongs to you. Even the enemy is scared now. They never thought you'd be warned. They thought they had time to finish what they started. But now they know. They've been exposed. The chains they tried to place on your progress are being broken. You will feel it soon, opportunities returning, energy rising, clarity flowing. It will come like a gust of wind, sudden but undeniable. And when it does, remember who cried for you. Honor their tears by walking boldly in your truth. Make no more room for those who only celebrated you when you were struggling. The time of delay is over. Your name is no longer tied to that plan. Heaven has erased the sabotage from your divine calendar. Stand tall now, even if you feel small. You are surrounded by a light that many try to dim, but it cannot be undone. The one who watches from heaven will now send dreams. You may hear a name, see a face, or visit a place in your sleep. Watch carefully. Your path will be revealed through symbols and signs. You are entering a time of power, but power must be protected. This is why the crying had to happen, so God would release angels ahead of you into the days you haven't yet seen. You are now covered. No matter what you feel, even if emotions rise or people walk away, a heavenly love will never leave you. This message has completed its journey. What happens now is in your hands, but the soul who cried for you will smile again because you have finally heard them. The smile they now wear in heaven isn't because the danger has passed, but because you are no longer blind to it. You have become awakened. The message has entered your spirit. The cry has not been in vain. The person watching over you from above once held your hand through storms in this life, and now they are reaching across time and eternity to hold your spirit steady in this critical moment. They never stopped loving you, not even after their last breath. Their soul has been standing in God's counsel, asking that your destiny be defended. They showed God everything: the betrayal, the manipulation, the trap, the person involved. They pointed to your heart and said, "This one does not deserve this end." And God listened. You don't even realize how close you were to giving up. You smiled while falling apart inside. You said, "I'm okay," when you weren't, but heaven saw, and that's why this cry turned into a command. This message isn't a suggestion, it is divine instruction. It's your moment to change, to act, to walk away from things that quietly poisoned your peace, to stop spending time with people who only pretend to love you. The one in heaven who cried for you remembers how easily you forgive. They know you always try to see the good in others, even when it hurts you. That's the quality they loved in life, but now it's the one thing they're warning you about most. Because not all the people around you are genuine. One in particular has smiled to your face, but has already planned a conversation to ruin your name. That conversation has already happened. You just haven't heard about it yet. The soul who loves you from beyond saw this unfold like a timeline. Your name was mentioned in a room you weren't in, your truth twisted into entertainment, and your kindness mistaken for weakness. That was the moment they broke in heaven. They begged the angels, "Please don't let them find out the hard way. Don't let their heart be shattered again." And this message was created in that fire of intercession. You're reading it because you're meant to avoid the pain. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. This time, there's someone you keep trying to fix, to help, to rescue, but they are draining you. You know who it is. You felt it in your body, in your dreams, in the way your peace shatters after every interaction. The one in heaven is asking you to cut that tie, not because you are cruel, but because you were never meant to carry that weight. It's a distraction from your purpose, bait to steal your time, and an open door to dark energies. They have asked God to shut that door for you, but your will must align with the heavenly plan. You must release what they've already shown is unsafe, because what's coming to you in the next few months is enormous. But it cannot arrive where the wrong energy lies. The blessings are ready, but heaven will not pour gold into poisoned waters. You're being asked to purify your space, your circle, your habits, your thoughts, because the future that's trying to find you cannot be delayed anymore. Here's something with your name on it: an inheritance, an opportunity, a miracle, a truth, a reunion, a door. And the enemy knew this. That's why they used someone close to you to delay you with pain. But it ends now. The cry in heaven became a command from God: reveal the danger, protect the destiny, and warn the chosen. And so here it is, your sacred moment of alignment. From today, things will begin to unfold. Watch what happens in your relationships. Some will grow distant without explanation. Let them go. That's not loss, it's divine evacuation. Others will suddenly reach out with clarity and truth. Accept that too. That's your reward coming back in human form. You may feel alone during this shift, but you are never alone. That soul who cried for you is still speaking, still walking beside you, still sending divine energy to your space. When you feel that sudden breeze, that stillness, that unexplainable comfort, know it's them. They are your invisible shield. Now I've made a vow to God. If I can't go back to protect them in body, let me stay close in spirit, and God has allowed it. You are not walking through this season unguarded. Your ears will hear things now that were once hidden. Your spirit will react to lies with alarm. You'll see through people faster. That's part of your new spiritual sight. Your heavenly protector cried for this gift to be given to you, and now it is. Use it wisely. Protect it fiercely. The next 3 days are sacred. Don't ignore the quiet. Don't run from the stillness. That's when they speak the loudest. That's when heaven is downloading instructions into your soul. Archangel Michael says, don't go back to the ones who made you feel small. Don't explain your elevation to people who never clapped when you rose before. Don't apologize for your divine protection. A gate is opening, and only your truth can walk through it, not the broken versions of you that others tried to define. You are being called into a space of destiny that was written before you were born. The one in heaven saw this plan when they were alive. They told you about it once, as a joke, a wish, a moment of love. That was never random, that was a seed. And now it's ready to bloom. But only if you move with faith. Only if you hear the cry behind these words. Only if you step away from what kept you small. Because what's ahead requires all of you peeled whole. Awaken. You are rising. The shift is final. The cry in heaven was not weakness. It was the final act of divine war. And you are its victory. The enemy will try again, but they are already too late. You are no longer blind. The soul who loves you from heaven is walking ahead of you now, clearing the path with light. They will visit again, not in dreams, but in energy. You'll know when they're close. You'll feel it in your chest, in your smile, in your tears that fall for no reason. That's their presence saying, I'm still here. I didn't leave you. I never will. You are walking into the fulfillment of a promise they made to you long ago. This is the moment where timelines shift. This is your divine hour, and the heavens are standing still, watching, hoping, blessing. You are not late. You are not lost. You were just being led into this moment with precision. And now that you've arrived, there's only one thing left to do: step forward. This was not just a message. This was a heavenly cry transformed into your miracle. Let it guide you. Let it cleanse you. Let it prepare you. The future is no longer hiding, it's calling. And this time you're ready. From this moment on, your journey will not be the same. The presence from heaven that cried for you has changed the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Their tears have unlocked a gate that no enemy can close. You will notice it in subtle ways, the way your spirit no longer puts up with certain conversations, the way your soul feels uneasy around specific people. That's not a bad attitude, it's elevation. You've stepped into a protected state now. This protection is rare, not everyone gets it. It is granted only when someone in heaven gives up their peace to fight for your light. And that's exactly what happened for you. They saw how your future was being rewritten by people who didn't even deserve to say your name. They saw how your love, your patience, your faith was being taken for granted by those who never intended to grow with you. And they cried, not out of fear, but from the agony of watching your beautiful spirit bend under the weight of what was never meant for you. They cried because you deserve more. They stood before God and said, do not let them forget who they are. Do not let this trap define them. Do not let the enemy win. And God granted them this one chance to interrupt your timeline with a holy message. That's why you're reading this, because your story was being taken over, and heaven had to step in. From this point forward, the shift has begun. Don't be surprised when people leave without warning. Don't be afraid when situations suddenly end. That's not punishment, that's protection. The person who wept for you is now walking ahead of your steps. Every road you touch has already been prayed over. Every hour you face now carries invisible guidance. You are not just walking forward, you are being escorted by angels and the soul that loves you from heaven. They're smiling now. Their cry was heard. Their request was honored. Their love was felt. They know you heard the message. They know you've received the instruction. They know your heart has awakened, and now they can finally rest. But they will never leave your side. From time to time, you will still feel their presence. You will hear their favorite phrase from a stranger. You will see their favorite color suddenly appear around you. You will feel their laughter in the breeze. These are not just memories, these are confirmations. Confirmations that the cry was real, that the message was divine, that the shift was successful. Archangel Michael says, walk forward now with boldness. Let go of what's dying. Turn away from conversations meant to confuse you. Disconnect from the ones who act like they love you but secretly resent your growth. This is a sacred path. Now you are walking in a realm where destiny is protected, and your time is divine. The soul who cried for you didn't cry because you were weak. They cried because they saw how strong you were and how much was being stolen from you while you focused on surviving. Now it's time to thrive. No more putting up with energy that dims your light. No more second-guessing your intuition. No more delaying the decision that your soul has already made. You've been blessed with a divine exit from what was never yours and a sacred entrance into what always belonged to you. And when the days get quiet and the nights feel heavy, whisper a thank you, not just to God, but to that soul who refused to stay silent. They were once your protector in this life, and now they are your warrior in the next. They will never stop guiding you. They will never stop praying for you. They will never stop loving you. You are not alone. You never were, and you never will be. This is your turning point. This is your rescue. This is your release. You've been warned. You've been loved, and now you've been chosen again. Go forward. Heaven has cleared the way. The gates have opened, and now every step you take echoes through the heavens. Your path is no longer ordinary. It is guided, watched, and anointed. From the moment the cry was heard in heaven, everything began to shift in your favor. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit already knows. It's why you feel different. It's why the old things no longer fit. It's why your soul is restless. That's the awakening. You are not the same person who started this journey. That pain that nearly broke you, that betrayal that made you doubt your worth, that silence that made you question if anyone cared, all of it has now been witnessed by the highest realms of light. The soul who cried for you carried your pain like a crown before God. They did not ask for revenge, they asked for mercy. They asked for your restoration, and they asked that you be given a second wind so powerful that no one could block it this time. And it has been granted. There will be people who act confused by your glow. They'll pretend they don't see your rise. Let them. Their denial cannot erase your favor. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to be called out, set apart, and then lifted up for all to see, even those who misunderstood you. You sacrificed more than anyone knows. You stayed quiet when you could have spoken up. You've loved when you were being used. You've forgiven people who would have let you drown if the roles were reversed. But God kept track. Heaven counted the tears, and the one who wept for you made sure that none of it was wasted. You are about to see why you had to lose what you lost, why that door slammed shut, why that person left without explanation. It was all part of the divine rearrangement. The person in heaven who stood in the gap for you asked God not to allow you to settle. They said your spirit was too rare, too valuable, too sacred to be tied to people who only wanted to dim your soul. And now their cry has built a new foundation under your feet. From this moment forward, everything changes. Opportunities will come where rejection once was. Peace will cover what stress once took away. Connections will appear where loneliness once echoed. This is not luck, it's design. It's prophecy being fulfilled. You are not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a dimension that was created from love, intercession, and divine mercy. And the person who cried for you, they will walk with you in every breath you take. When you feel nervous before a big decision, they'll calm your soul. When you laugh unexpectedly on a hard day, they'll be the breeze beside you. When you sit in silence and suddenly feel warmth, that's them saying, "I'm proud of you. Keep going." You are not just their memory, you are their miracle. The very reason they fought to send this message to you is because you carry a legacy that must live on. You have something to build, to speak, to create, to leave behind. You are the continuation of a promise that didn't die when they left. Archangel Michael says, the tears they cried were not the end. They were the beginning of a divine eruption. And that eruption has now cleared the land of every false relationship, fake smile, and hidden trap. You are no longer walking on land cursed by jealousy. You are walking on ground blessed by intercession. Everything that rises against you from here forward will fall without you lifting a finger. You won't need to defend yourself anymore. Heaven has already spoken on your behalf. Those that judged your silence will have to witness your voice become thunder. Those that mocked your stillness will see your movement become unshakable. And those that laughed at your pain will hear your joy ring like a divine bell across timelines. You are not done, you are just beginning. And this time you walk with a heavenly army, not just angels, but the soul that once called your name with love now calls your name with purpose. The pain you endured has now become the proof that you were chosen for greater things. Don't waste another second trying to explain your worth to anyone who questioned it. You don't need to be validated by people who couldn't even recognize the real you. The person who cried in heaven saw the real you, the healed you, the destined you, the powerful you. They cried because they saw what you were becoming. And they knew that if you could just hold on a little longer, you would arrive here, right here, in this moment of divine clarity. So breathe, let go, wake up. You have been covered, chosen, and commanded. Heaven knows your name. Your time has come. This is your hour. Your cry has broken the silence. Now go live like someone who has been loved across dimensions, because you are, and always will be. And now, as this holy message nears its end, let your soul absorb what has been spoken into your spirit. These words are not random. They were crafted in the presence of glory, written between the tears of a soul who refused to let you fall unseen. You didn't just receive a message, you received a miracle, a divine interruption to shift your course back to the original design heaven made for you before anyone ever tried to damage it. The pain you've carried, it has been noted. Every sleepless night, every unanswered call, every betrayal you kept silent about, heaven remembers. But now heaven restores. The soul who cried for you in heaven, they're not just watching anymore, they're working. You will begin to notice synchronicity in your life, unexpected favor, doors that shouldn't open, timing that's too perfect to call coincidence. These aren't accidents, they are proof that you have been claimed by the divine. From this day forward, even your shadow will carry protection. Even your silence will speak truth. Even your absence will command respect. Archangel Michael says, the cry has changed your atmosphere. What once delayed you will now speed you up. The time you thought was lost is being returned, multiplied. That energy you thought was drained is now being restored 20 times over. The people who underestimated you, they will have no access to the new version of you. Their role in your life has expired, not because of bitterness, but because heaven has upgraded your environment, and they no longer fit. And to you, yes, you, the one who has endured without applause, cried without witnesses, and hoped in silence, hear this deeply. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not behind, you are being positioned. You are not forgotten, you are being lifted. The one who cried for you did not weep because you were failing. They wept because your spirit was far more powerful than even you knew. They wept because they saw what was coming, and it was breathtaking. They saw your healing, your freedom, your love story, your purpose, your celebration. And they cried because they knew you were almost there, and they refused to watch you give up when you were so close. So this message became the bridge. This moment became your turning point. This divine interruption became your rebirth. From now on, nothing will remain the same. You are now walking in a protected frequency. The air around you is marked. Your name is known in realms higher than fear. You've crossed over into a season where even your presence heals, even your silence teaches, and even your rest creates ripple effects of peace. And every time you doubt, every time you question, every time you feel overwhelmed, remember this: a soul in heaven cried for you, and heaven listened, and heaven moved, and heaven chose you. Not the version of you that had it all figured out, but the real, raw, faithful, wary, beautiful version of you who still kept walking. So rise now with no guilt for surviving, with no shame for being chosen, with no fear of the shift. This is your season. Heaven has spoken. The tears have been transformed into triumph, and the one who wept for you, they're smiling now because they know you're going to be just fine. You're going to rise. You're going to heal. You're going to win. This message was heaven's rescue, your confirmation, your final cry turned into your first step. Now go live boldly, live divinely, live protected. As this message breathes its last sacred words into your heart, pause for a moment and realize this: you are no longer the person you were before you began reading. You have been spiritually shifted and lifted, protected and awakened. The cry from heaven was not just grief, it was prophecy. It was the unlocking of your next chapter, the writing of your story, and the cleansing of the path ahead. What was once blocked is now flowing. What was once delayed is now being delivered. The very soul who cried for you is no longer weeping. They are now worshiping because their intercession worked. Their voice cracked open the heavens. Their tears ignited the divine order to rescue you. And now you are covered by a light so powerful that no darkness can reach it. Look closely. In the coming days, the people who left will start to regret it. The ones who lied about you will lose power. The ones who underestimated you will watch you rise beyond their reach. But you won't need revenge. You'll be too focused on walking in your restoration. The blessing coming is bigger than your pain. The season you're stepping into doesn't even recognize the struggle you came from. It only recognizes your strength, your truth, your divine timing. That's what was released when the soul in heaven cried out for you. And now heaven is celebrating, not because the battle is over, but because you finally know you're not alone in it. The veil has been lifted. The silence has been broken. The warning has been delivered. And now your future is free to arrive. Archangel Michael says, from this day forward, the enemy cannot touch what has been marked by God's mercy. You are not cursed, you are called. You are not delayed, you are divinely timed. Your name has been sealed in light. Let the doubters talk. Let the envious stare. Let the liars fall into their own traps. You will walk forward with power that was forged in prayer, protected by angels, and paid for by heavenly tears. And one day, when you're standing at the top of your purpose, glowing with peace, smiling in your wholeness, you will remember this moment. You will remember this message. You will remember this cry from heaven, and you will whisper with love, thank you for not giving up on me, because the soul that cried for you never did, and they never will. This is your promise. This is your covering. This is your confirmation. Now go live like the heavens cried to protect your name, because they did. Now exhale. Let every word that has touched your soul settle like light into your spirit. Let it anchor itself in your memory. Let it become a part of who you are from this moment forward. You have not just read a message, you have been anointed by a revelation. This wasn't information, it was transformation. You were meant to hear this today, not a second sooner, not a minute later. The timing was heaven calculated, delivered at the exact moment your heart could finally receive it. The tears of the soul who cried for you were never wasted. They watered the seed of your restoration, and now you are blooming. Every part of you that was dimmed by life, by disappointment, by betrayal, by loss, it's coming back to life now. Not the old version of you, but the divine version you were always meant to be. The glow returning to your face, the strength rising back in your heart, the clarity forming in your mind. These are the fruits of what heaven has done, because someone who loves you still wouldn't stop crying. They stayed near. They broke heavenly silence. They used their voice to move the impossible on your behalf. You are not imagining the shift happening inside of you. This is real. The burden has lifted. The haze has cleared. The ties have broken. You are no longer walking in confusion. You are walking in purpose. You are no longer bound by the betrayal. You are bound to the blessing. Archangel Michael says, you have been found worthy by heaven. And because of that, everything changes. You will notice how even time feels different now. Your energy will last longer. Your mind will be sharper. Your emotions will be lighter. Why? Because what was weighing you down in the unseen realm has been removed. You are not tired anymore. You are reborn. You are not broken anymore. You are restored. You are not waiting anymore. You are walking. Let the world say what it wants. Let others try to make sense of your rise. You do not owe anyone an explanation. This is divine justice, and you are walking in it. The one who cried for you is now celebrating in the presence of God. They are no longer in grief. They are in awe because they see what's coming next for you. They see the reunions. They see the abundance. They see the healing. They see the peace. They see the long nights being replaced with joyful mornings. They see the old wounds becoming sacred stories of victory. And they are smiling because now they know you're going to be okay. More than okay, you're going to rise. You're going to lead. You're going to shine. You're going to love again stronger, wiser, freer. And every time you feel joy from now on, their soul will feel it too. That's the eternal connection you now share. They gave their tears and you gave your heart. And now the circle is complete. So lift your head, straighten your spine, walk like someone who is wrapped in divine light, because you are. This is the end of the message, but it is only the beginning of your new life. Walk forward. You are ready, and heaven is watching. Even now, as your eyes reach these final lines, something in your soul feels different. You may not have the words for it, but you know it's real. It's peace, it's clarity. It's the quiet voice within whispering, you were never forgotten. That is the afterglow of heaven's touch, because every word written here was not for your mind alone. It was for the part of your spirit that needed to be seen, heard, and healed. The soul who cried for you knew exactly how to reach that part of you, and their tears paved the way for this divine connection. They saw beyond your today. They saw into your tomorrow. The one filled with laughter, the one with open doors, the one where you walk with no fear and no apology. That's the future they fought for. You'll find it soon, not through force, but through divine alignment. Things will begin to unfold effortlessly. You'll walk into the right rooms without chasing. You'll meet people who understand your energy without explanation. You'll be offered things you once prayed for in silence. This is not fantasy. This is divine restoration, a process begun by one soul's cry and completed by your awakening. So if your eyes fill with tears now, let them fall not in sorrow, but in holy release. This is the moment your spirit says goodbye to every lie, every loss, and every limit that tried to keep you small. You are no longer who pain tried to make you. You are who heaven always knew you were. The cry in heaven is finished now because it fulfilled its purpose. The soul who cried has been embraced by light again, their mission complete. And in place of sorrow, now they dance. Now they smile. Now they whisper, they heard me. They're rising. They're going to make it. And you will. You will make it. Not barely. Not broken, but brilliantly, beautifully. You will, because you are protected, because you are loved, because you are chosen, because you are not walking alone. You never were. And now, as you close this message, know this one final truth. You are the miracle they asked for, and you are the answer God delivered. This message is complete, but your story is just beginning. Go live it. Go shine. Heaven is watching, and the soul who cried for you is now walking beside you forever. Even after this message ends, its light will not leave you. You'll carry it quietly, like a sacred fire in your chest. It will burn away fear, silence, shame, and remind you every time the world gets loud that you are protected by realms the world cannot see. This divine scroll was opened for you because your name carries weight in heaven. You are not just part of a family, a city, or a moment. You are part of a divine plan that stretches beyond lifetimes. The soul who cried for you understood that even when you forgot it, even when the world tried to bury your identity under pain, failure, and distraction, they never stopped believing in you. They wept not because they were hopeless, but because they saw the depth of your calling and how close darkness came to silencing it. They cried because they love you that much, and God responded to their cry with a simple command: send the message. And so heaven wrote this for you. Every line was guided. Every moment was aligned. Every tear that fell was turned into a sentence of salvation for your soul. And now that cry has accomplished what it was meant to. Because now you see, now you feel it. Now you know you are never alone. You are seen in the Spirit. You are guarded in the unseen. You are lifted in the eternal. No more walking in confusion. No more dancing for approval. No more settling for half light. You are walking fully, boldly into the season they cried for you to reach. And as you do, you carry them with you. Your love has no grave. It is alive in you. It speaks when you speak truth. It breathes when you choose peace. It radiates when you step away from pain and walk into your power. And when the road gets hard again, and it will, you will feel a breeze brush your cheek. You will feel warmth on your back. Even when the sky is cold, you will feel them near. It will be their eternal promise. You kept going, and I never stopped walking with you. This message was not a warning alone. It was a covenant, a seal between you, the heavens, and the soul that still sees you with love. So now go live like you are watched over by angels, because you are. Go walk like your name was whispered in the throne room of God, because it was. Go dream like someone cried for your destiny, because they did, and now they rejoice. This was not the end. This was the beginning of everything they wept for you to reach. You are the answer. You are the light. You are the living proof that heaven listens. Go forward now. They are still with you. Before this story reaches its final moment, receive this: you did not arrive at Michael's divine shield by chance. You were led here, at this exact hour, because heaven had something to place in your hands. Through the link in the description and pinned comment, you can step into the Michael's Divine Shield community, a guarded, faith-filled sanctuary where divine protection is not a wish, but a promise standing on the Word. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate access to daily devotions, spiritual warfare tools, and divine insights the world will never hand you. Inside Michael's Divine Shield, you will find guidance for every decision, unwavering covering on our prayer wall, and rapid movement toward the destiny already written over your life. Do not let this moment pass. Your breakthrough is standing at the door. And if you want to carry this covering into your home, our guided ebooks and Bibles are waiting in the pinned comment. Whether you join Michael's Divine Shield as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence shifts the atmosphere. Take the step. Your protection and your abundance are waiting.